engineering means essentially to make things happen the way we want it. That's engineering, isn't it? To engineer this building means what? We want it the way we want it. We could have sat under a tree, but we choose to build this building because we want to sit under something engineered the way we want it, as suitable for us. We are conditioned the place because we want the temperature in a certain way. All this we did, but is it not important that you engineer this the way you want it? Outside is air-conditioned, inside is boiling, what's the point? I'm saying power is being wasted on you. In the last 150 years, with the advent of science and technology, we have more comforts and conveniences than any generation ever could imagine, isn't it? You have more comforts and conveniences than any generation could ever imagine. We are the most comfortable generation ever, physically, materially. But can you say, are you the most peaceful generation? Joyful? Loving? No. Making life happen better than the way it's happening right now, because this is a fundamental responsibility that we have as a generation of people, because we occupy this space on the planet for a short, brief time. This means we have to engineer ourselves to fit in such a way. See, a well-engineered machine means least amount of friction, isn't it so? So the fundamentals of yoga is this. The fundamentals of yoga is in the geometry of physical existence. If you understand the geometry of what this human mechanism is, the body is, the psychological structure is, the chemical processes are, the energy structures are, if you understand the geometry of this and become capable of observing the cosmic geometry, if these two things are well aligned, suddenly your life hits off like a magic. Your life is no more a miserable drag, but it's magical simply because you have gotten the right geometry of things. Anything that is geometrically perfect will function absolutely smoothly and for a very long time. It doesn't matter what you want to do in your life. One thing must happen, your body and your brain should not come in your way, they must work for you. Never your body and your mind should not come in the way of who you want to be. Right now for most people, they themselves are a big issue. When you are an issue, how will you address the issues in the world? If you really want to address the issues in the world, this one should never be an issue, isn't it? I am not the issue here, I am never the problem. If there are problems, I will deal with it, but I am never the problem. This must happen to you, isn't it? Please make yourself like this, that you are never the problem, you're always a part of the solution, never a part of the problem. Most important thing is how you are. When you're alone, if you're miserable, you're obviously in bad company, isn't it? So all people should do this to yourself, at least for 3 days, 1 week. If you sit alone for 3 days, no television, no book, no texting, simply by yourself, let's see what happens. You must know the nature of who you are. You should not go on dodging yourself and one day you will explode into something. You must know what is the level of madness you're suffering. When I say madness, if your mind is out of your control, is that called madness in definition? If your mind does not take instructions from you, it's out of control, is that called madness? Just try. Just today after this event, just go sit quietly in your room. Just see what all your mind does. You decide, don't tell anybody. You decide what is the level of madness you're going through. With this, if you enter the world, what will you create? You will only create who you are, isn't it? You cannot do anything other than what you are. What you are is what will happen to the world around you. Before you step out into the world, is it not important at least you're this much equipped that you are not the problem? Can you make this happen for yourself, that you are never the problem? You are not the issue in your life. Other issues, if they come, we will deal with it to the best of our ability, but this should not be an issue, isn't it? This can be easily done very simple processes. If you invest on 20-30 minutes a day, you can bring this possibility into your life.
The purpose of spirituality. What do you wish to attain by walking the spiritual path? If you ask me these questions, I would say the purpose of spirituality is to know the real nature of I. I myself started walking the spiritual path just to know the nature of this I. And this alone can be the purpose of true spirituality. For most of the people in this world, this I either means the body or the mind, or the combination of the two. People are completely ignorant about its real essence, about its infinite divine nature. And no wonder that they undergo so much suffering in their lives. So today I'm going to share with you one beautiful verse from one of the most profound spiritual texts, Ashtavakra Gita, and this verse will tell you what the nature of this I really is. Allow me to recite this verse in Sanskrit and then I'll explain its meaning to you. It goes like this: Atma Sakshi Vibhu Purna Eko Muktaschida Kriyaha Asango Nispriha Shanto Brahmat Sansaravan Eva. This verse talks about your real nature beyond the body-mind complex. It tells you who you really are beyond the physical and psychological forms. Now tell me, when you say I, what comes to your mind? Just close your eyes right now and gently repeat I in your mind. Now when you say I, what do you actually mean? Just check within yourself what you actually refer to when you say I. Is it the physical body that you are addressing as I? Or is it the mind consisting of thoughts and emotions? Or is it the titles that this external world has conferred upon you? So what do you really mean when you say I? Now this verse talks about the real nature of this I. It says that the I in you is pure consciousness. It is not the inert body. The body is lifeless, made up of flesh and bones. But through the error of superimposition, you take the body to be the conscious I. You superimpose the consciousness on the inert body. This is called Adhyaas in Sanskrit. Superimposition happens when you mistake something for something else. Just as in the darkness, you mistake a rope to be a snake, so in the darkness of your ignorance, you are mistaking consciousness to be the body-mind complex. And this is so wrong. How can consciousness, which is life itself, be a property of something which is by nature inert? Many people think that the brain produces consciousness, which is again so wrong. With just a little common sense, you can come to know that consciousness is not the result of some brain activity. You are forgetting that brain is also a piece of flesh. It is merely an organ through which the consciousness expresses itself, but always remains apart from it. So this word says that the I in you is pure consciousness, pure awareness. Then it further says that this I is the witness. And witness of what? Witness of the body and mind. And you can easily see that using the seer-seen principle, which says that you cannot be what you see. That's very commonsensical, right? How can you be that which you see? So using this, you can easily come to the conclusion that you are not the body, you are not the mind, because you can easily witness whatever happens within your body and mind. And then the word says that the I in you is all pervasive. It pervades the entire universe. It is complete and free. It is peaceful and desireless. And why is it desireless? Because it is complete. It doesn't lack anything. And then the verse finally says that the I in you is unattached. It is not attached to the body, nor is it attached to the mind. It always remains apart from them. No activity on the level of the body and mind can touch this conscious I, which is your real nature. It's because you consider yourself to be the body-mind complex, you take yourself to be the doer, forgetting that you are actionless by nature. No activity can happen within you, nor can it happen by you. And this is the reason why Lord Krishna asked Arjun to drop the sense of doership and just perform the duties with all his heart. Now let me just summarize what this verse really says. It says that the I in you is pure consciousness. It is the witness of the body and mind. It is complete, free, unattached, and desireless. And it finally says that this error of identification with body and mind happens because of your ignorance of your real divine nature.